Amy Duggar King is returning as host of Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets, the second season of the documentary series. In the pilot episode, a Duggar cousin talked about how the show was received. She also mentioned her uncle, Jim Bob Duggar, in passing. Amy is just one member of the Duggar family that gained notoriety on TLC with Counting On, 19 Kids, and Counting On. Her parents are Terry and Deanna Duggar, and she is their only child. In a less public context, Amy married Dylan King in 2015. They had a boy together, Daxton, who is now their parent. The Duggar family was the subject of the 2023 documentary series Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets on Prime Video. Amy, who has been on the show, has returned for its second season, which just came out. Amy read the Duggar statement during the current season premiere, which was made public around the time of the show's initial debut. According to the new documentary that explores our family, we see the media and other people with bad intentions harming the people we care about, which is heartbreaking. Like many families, ours has experienced its share of highs and lows, but we have also had to cope with the attention. In the current documentary about our family, we witness people with bad intentions and the media hurting those we care about, and it saddens us. Like many others, our family has experienced the highs and lows of life, but in a much more visible manner. Amy was obviously growing irritated throughout the reading. We have always believed that private love is the finest method to mend broken relationships or settle disputes, the statement read. Amy went on to say, Jim Bob irritates me, sharing her personal viewpoint. It's so easy, really. I'm dying to tell him what's happening. Amy went on to discuss the early reception of the first season. Parade noted that the Duggar family and their religious organization, the Institute of Basic Life Principles, were the focus of this season. It's been a long journey, Amy thought. Social media gained popularity a while ago. Everyone who did not participate in the IBLP craziness may be able to identify. There are several examples of people who hold utterly illogical beliefs. Jim Bob Duggar's vocal niece, Amy Duggar King, who has often criticized the Duggar family's rigidly orthodox way of life, has once again made news. Amy stated in an open and heartfelt interview that she had long wished to meet her well-known Uncle Jim Bob in person and finally tell him off for what she characterizes as years of manipulation, control, and quiet in the family. Smashing the stereotype. Amy Duggar never quite fit into the carefully regulated society created by Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, despite being frequently viewed as the rebel cousin during her appearances on 19 Kids and Counting. Amy blazed a separate trail, one that frequently conflicted with the Duggar women's expectations, from dressing in jeans and listening to popular music to dating outside of her relatives' rigid courtship standards. Amy has been more outspoken in recent years, particularly when the program was canceled and more information about the inner workings of the family surfaced. She has stood up for her relatives who have decided to break with the Duggars' contentious religious group, the Institute of Basic Life Principles IBLP. She is now saying that she wants to hold Jim Bob responsible. Tension erupts. Amy said, "There are so many things I wish I could say to Jim Bob," in her tearful podcast interview earlier this month. "I've been holding my tongue for a long time. In actuality, though, someone must confront him and tell him, what you did, what you allowed, it was wrong." Amy was referring to the scandals that have shook the family, especially those involving Jim Bob's oldest son, Josh Duggar, as well as the tight lifestyle that he maintained. One of the few family members who has publicly denounced Josh and expressed support for his victims, including his sisters, is Amy. For what reason did I witness so many individuals endure silent suffering? To keep a name safe? A name? It's devastating, she murmured, her voice trembling. Jim Bob may think he was protecting his family, but in reality, he was silencing them. The connection between Amy and her cousins. Amy still has close ties to several of her relatives in spite of the conflict, particularly those who have abandoned the family's extreme conservatism. She has openly backed Jill Duggar Dillard, who has written a book and given interviews discussing her personal battles with Jim Bob and the IBLP. Jill is courageous. Jinger, Joy, and even others who haven't spoken up yet but are figuring things out on their own are doing the same, Amy remarked. Leaving behind something you've known your entire life requires a great deal of bravery. All I want children to understand is that they are not alone. Though she takes pride in her role as the black sheep, Amy has frequently been viewed as such. Being the black sheep simply indicates that I didn't follow orders mindlessly. And it's okay if that makes me the odd one out. The reason she hasn't contacted Jim Bob, however, Amy acknowledged that it's difficult to explain why she hasn't yet contacted her uncle directly. It's dissatisfaction, not terror. He wouldn't listen. I know that. I am aware that he would misrepresent my remarks and possibly incite the family to oppose me even more. However, a part of me still desires to say the truth and meet his eyes. Additionally, Amy alluded to the psychological toll that years of family stress have taken. A case of gaslighting has occurred. Emotional manipulation has occurred. You simply have to defend your peace at some time. But I would definitely do it if I ever had the chance and knew it wouldn't negatively affect the people I care about. How would she respond? Amy didn't mince words when asked what she wanted to say to Jim Bob. I would advise him against using fear to dominate others. That it is wrong to silence victims of abuse. That using family members as props for a television show isn't love. As she went on, her voice faltered. I would tell him that he owes his girls their freedom, not just an apology. I would advise him that he is not necessarily correct just because he believes he is carrying out the will of the Lord. The path ahead. According to Amy, she doesn't think such confrontation will ever take place. She has, however, found serenity in speaking up, spreading awareness, and leading a life based on authenticity rather than appearance, whether it works or not. I felt like I had to defend myself for being different from them for a very long time. But I now know that my route is legitimate. My voice counts. And it's worth it if raising your voice makes even one person feel less alone or more powerful. Amy has begun to use her position to support other women in speaking their minds, particularly those who have come from oppressive religious backgrounds. She has given speeches at gatherings for women's empowerment and keeps posting inspirational and empowering content on social media. A split family that isn't broken. Deep divisions still exist within the Duggar family. While some, like Amy, Jill, and Jinger, are creating their lives according to their own terms, others still adhere to Jim Bob's guidance and beliefs. Even with the fractures, Amy remains optimistic. Perhaps there will be healing eventually. Perhaps one day we'll all be honest with one another while seated at the same table. But until then, even if my voice trembles, I will continue to proclaim the truth. While not everyone in her well-known family will agree with Amy Duggar King's audacity, it is striking a chord with a great number of people. More than just a personal release, her wish to reprimand Jim Bob is a statement of justice, honesty, and the kind of familial love that doesn't back down from difficult talks.